tasted the dark marmalade you left upon the plate, a flavor profile that matches our contemporary state. A little bit of sugary sweetness at the very start, followed by an astringent bite that punctures the heart. We cultivated a recipe that was complex and refined, blending the ingredients that our personalities aligned. But the ratio was faulty and the mixture turned sour, leaving an unpleasant aftertaste at this final hour. I remember the honeymoon phase in the orchard by the farm, when every single syllable possessed a therapeutic charm. We picked fresh strawberries from the bushes in the field, savoring the bounty that the fertile soil would yield. But the seasons rotated and the frost came too soon, blackening the vegetation under an October moon. Now the fruit is fermenting in the wooden storage bin, a toxic transformation that is occurring from within. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. A confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. I found a dark chocolate bar in the pocket of your vest, a confectionery treat that you had previously suppressed. I broke off a square and let it dissolve on my tongue, recalling the melodies that we previously sung. It was 80% cacao, intense and severe, an accurate reflection of the atmosphere. Here we don't do simple sugar or cheap artificial treats, we prefer the complexity of these emotional defeats. The coffee machine is dripping in the pantry alcove now as I prepare a beverage to make my final bow. I don't add any cream or the white granulated crystals. We are treating our farewell like the firing of pistols, just a black boiling liquid that is scorching to the throat, a fitting commitment to the final note I wrote. We drink to our history and the damage we sustained, savoring the agony that permanently remained. The culinary experts cannot fix this broken stew, and there is no condiment that can make the flavor new. We are consuming the remnants of a beautiful mistake, numbing our palates for our mental sanity's sake. We are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Spit it out, clear the mouth, rinse the tongue clean, erase the flavor profiles that have come between. But the receptors are stained and the memory persists, a permanent item on our emotional lists. You cannot separate the sugar from the gold when you choose to consume it all. Tonic, syrup, pour it out. The end, we are swallowing this bittersweet memory tonight, trying to convince ourselves that everything is right. The contrast is brutal and the pleasure brings us pain, a confusing combination that is driving us insane. Yeah, the medicine is harsh, but the sickness was deep. Sharp tang, door bang, acrid. shouted out your name into the canyon deep and wide, hoping for an answer from the solitary side. But the landscape was indifferent to the misery I felt, and the frosty mountain ridges refused to ever melt. The sound of my own voice came bouncing back into my ear, a mockery of passion that was twisted by my fear. You left without a warning on a Tuesday afternoon, leaving a vacant apartment that was cleared out way too soon. The tiles in the bathroom multiply the dripping faucet sound, the water repercussion while I stare up on the ground. Every statement that we made inside this residential space is bouncing off the plaster without leaving any trace. We used to fill the structure with our arguments and cheers, but the frequency is altered over consecutive years. Now the vibration is a hollow and a terrifying thing, like a broken copper bell that has forgotten how to ring. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pains. I walked into the valley where we carved our monogram before the river flooded and destroyed the wooden dam. The gorge is full of boulders that have tumbled from the peak, crushing all the flowers that were delicate and weak. I spoke into the cavern just to test the acoustic grace, but the replication process was an absolute disgrace. It distorted all the meaning of the phrases that I chose, turning a confession into a parade of woes. The telephone is silent, but the static is alive, a technological reminder that our bond did not survive. I listened to old voicemails that you recorded on your device, when your tone was full of honey before it turned to ice. The digital compression makes your laughter sound so strange, a robotic variation that emphasizes the change. I disconnect the line because the feedback is too intense, an auditory punishment that defies all common sense. We built a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Screaming louder, let it bounce against the granite wall. Watch the sonic wave expand before it starts to fall. You cannot fill a vacuum with a fabricated shout. You cannot light a fire when the oxygen is out. The acoustic properties of this relationship are dead, and I am drowning in the feedback of the things you said. Hello? Is anyone there? No. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Echoes fade, debts unpaid. Silence. The landlord gave us 30 days to vacate the address, a legal expiration of our domestic mess. The lease had expired and the renewal was denied, an external reflection of the vacancy inside. We packed our belongings into cardboard crates, accepting the reality of our separate fates. But every second passing felt like a heavy toll, and now a glass empty in the chambers of my soul. We watched the digital digits on the microwave clock, counting down the moments until the final shock. We were like tenants in a hotel room we didn't own, waiting for the bellhop to unplug the telephone. The furniture was ours, but the walls belonged to him, and the prospects of our future were looking rather dim. We tried to make a memory out of a remaining day, but the calendar was ruthless in taking it away. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming and we cannot pay the price. I remember when we believed our resources were infinite. Every hour was a treasure and we spent every minute of it. We didn't check the ledger or calculate the cost, never imagining the magnitude of what we eventually lost. Now we are budgeting our syllables and measuring our strides like passengers on a vessel where the captain divides the remaining water rations among a desperate crew. A tragic situation for a person like you. I see the moving van parked along the curb below, a motorized chariot that is forcing us to go. The taillights are blinking in a rhythmic sort of threat, a visual punctuation of my absolute regret. You take the upper highway and I will take the coast, leaving behind the structure that we populated most. Our temporary lease on happiness has reached its final date, and there is no extension from the officials of fate. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured, the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming countdown is at 0, and the buzzer starts to ring, ending the existence of our temporary thing. Tick tock, time's up. Drop the cup. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming, and we cannot pay the price. No more days, parting ways, 0. An old album sits upon the dusty wooden shelf, a portrait of a boy who looks a bit like myself, beside a girl with ribbons in her tangled golden hair, sitting on a blanket in the middle of the square. The colors have all shifted into shades of pale and gray, like chemical reactions washing memories away. I trace the silver outline of your unforgettable face, stuck inside a pocket of a long forgotten place. The Polaroid camera made a clicking sort of noise. Back when we were playing with our favorite childhood toys, we waited for the image to develop in the sun, counting all the seconds until everything was done. The chemical solution captured moments in a flash before our little kingdom came to crumble in a crash. Now look at how the edges are beginning to unglue, just like the connection that I shared along with you. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. I found another snapshot in the pocket of my coat, wrapped around a tiny and a handwritten short note. You said you would love me till the oceans all went dry, but oceans turned to deserts and the clouds deserted sky. The camera never lies, but it omits the painful part. It doesn't show the cracking of a heavy human heart. It only shows the laughter and the sunshine on the beach, while keeping all the misery far out of human reach. I tried to remember what you said right before the click. The memory is playing like a cruel and wicked trick. The audio is missing, though the visual remains. A gallery of pleasure that is shielding all the pains. The chemical emotion is decaying on the sheet, while I am walking lonely down this suffocating street. If I could take another shot, I'd change the focal length to see if our relationship possessed a greater strength. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. Oh, wait for light, hope it turns out fine. But you cannot rewrite the script of your life and mine. Just a ghost in a frame. I barely know your name. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay, fading out without a doubt. Click. The landlord gave us 30 days to vacate the address, a legal expiration of our domestic mess. The lease had expired and the renewal was denied, an external reflection of the vacancy inside. We packed our belongings into cardboard crates, accepting the reality of our separate fates. But every second passing felt like a heavy toll, an hourglass empty in the chambers of my soul. We watched the digital digits on the microwave clock, counting down the moments until the final shock. We were like tenants in a hotel room we didn't own, waiting for the bellhop to unplug the telephone. The furniture was ours, but the walls belonged to him, and the prospects of our future were looking rather dim. We tried to make a memory out of a remaining day, but the calendar was ruthless in taking it away. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming and we cannot pay the price. I remember when we believed our resources were infinite. Every hour was a treasure and we spent every minute of it. We didn't check the ledger or calculate the cost, never imagining the magnitude of what we eventually lost. Now we are budgeting our syllables and measuring our strides like passengers on a vessel where the captain devised the remaining water rations among a desperate crew. A tragic situation for a person like you. I see the moving van parked along the curb below, a motorized chariot that is forcing us to go. The tail lights are blinking in a rhythmic sort of thread, a visual punctuation of my absolute regret. You take the upper highway and I will take the coast, leaving behind the structure that we populated most. Our temporary lease on happiness has reached its final date, and there is no extension from the officials of fate. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance judges will inflict. The countdown is at 0, and the buzzer starts to ring, ending the existence of our temporary thing. Tick tock, time's up, drop the cup. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming, and we cannot pay the price. No more days, parting ways. 0. I walk along the perimeter of the industrial district zone, underneath the orange sodium lamps, entirely alone. The asphalt is shimmering from the recent autumn shower, and the municipal clock tower strikes the midnight hour. I pass the storefronts with their iron grills pulled down tight, a bleak urban landscape in the middle of the night. I remember when we strolled here, holding hands in the spring, before our affection became a completely disposable thing. The alleyways are cluttered with debris and discarded crates, a geographical reflection of our unfortunate separate fates. I see my breath condensing in the chilly morning air as I search for your shadow in the public market square. But the citizens are strangers with their collars pulled up high, averting their gazes as they hurry quickly by. We used to own this neighborhood, we knew every single lane, but now it's just a maze that is amplifying my pain. The city planning commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. I found a graffiti drawing on the brick warehouse wall that we painted together right before the final four. The spray paint is flaking and the colors are obscure, a visual reminder of a bond they couldn't endure. A police cruiser passes with its sirens flashing blue, an intrusive interruption to my memories of you. I turned down a side street to avoid the flashing light, disappearing further into the shadows of the night. The subway station entrance is a gaping concrete maw, sucking in the workers under the municipal law. I look down the staircase, but I cannot find the strength to traverse the underground system for its toll. over the surface even if the wind is biting cold, because the subterranean tunnels make me feel incredibly old. I am a pedestrian without a destination or a home, condemned for eternity through these outer sectors to roam. The city planning commission didn't design this grid for love, and the smoke is accumulating in the sky up above. We are navigating avenues that have forgotten our name, and the environment around us will never feel the same. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Cross the intersection, ignore the pedestrian sign. Do something to bridge the gap between your world and mine. But the traffic is relentless and the engines are too loud, and your figure is swallowed by the rushing morning crowd. So I stand on the curb while the city rushes past, realizing that the isolation is permanent at last. Walk, don't walk, no more talk, lost. We are wandering these lonely streets under a foggy sky, searching for the reasons why our connection had to die. The concrete is unforgiving and the avenues are wide, leaving no location where our broken hearts can hide. Yeah, the metropolitan pavement is a cold place to sleep. Dark, dark, dark lanes, urban pains gone. We spent our teenage summers under stadium bleachers, ignoring all the warnings from our worried school teachers. We drank cheap soda from aluminum cans, making grand, unrealistic and magnificent plans. You had a skateboard with the graphics worn off, laughing at the future with the arrogant scoff. We carved our initials in the gymnasium floor, believing that our innocence would last evermore. But adolescence vanishes like smoke from a match, leaving only memories that we cannot reattach. The graduation ceremony came and it went, and all that sovereign energy was permanently spent. I see you working now behind a corporate desk, your wild hair tamed into something picturesque. We traded our rebellion for a steady paycheck, leaving the remains of our adventure a wreck. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. We ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. I found an old mixtape in the glove compartment tray with songs we used to scream along to every single day. The tape is warped from the heat of July, just like the confidence they used to glorify our sky. I remember when we swore we would never grow old or conform to the expectations that this society sold. But the system is a grinder that is heavy and slow, crushing all the impulses that we used to show. You don't wear your leather jacket anymore, it's hanging in the closet by the basement pantry door. You speak in vocabulary that is clinical and dry, without a single spark of rebellion in your eye. We became the very citizens we used to despise, with calculated answers and conventional ties. The playground is a parking lot of bitumen and stone, where we sit inside our vehicles completely alone. The yearbook is collecting mildew in a box, and time has picked the tumblers of our secret combination locks. We squandered our potential on a beautiful illusion, losing all our clarity in a adult confusion. Oh, we are mourning for our wasted youth tonight. The years we threw away without a single proper fight. Losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. Inside your sluggish brain, but the energy is missing and the vocal cords are tired, and the wild imagination is permanently expired. We are just two adults paying mortgage and rent, regretting every single moment that we casually misspent. Young hearts, old smarts, the years we threw away without a single proper fight. Oh, we ran head first into a calculated trap, losing all the coordinates on our juvenile map. Yeah, the calendar was stealing while we looked the other way. You fade, long shades, age. We built a castle out of cardboard boxes in the yard, and swore that we would guard it like a royal palace guard. We gathered plastic jewels and we placed them on our brow, believing we were monarchs who would never disavow the promises we whispered in the safety of the dark, before the glowing embers turned into a dangerous spark. You wore a golden circlet made of yellow painted wire, shining like a beacon by our little campfire. But sovereignty is heavy for a pair of fragile kids. We closed our eyes tightly underneath our heavy lids. The rain began to fall and made the cardboard turn to mud. The royal tapestry was washed away by summer flood. Your coronet was twisted when you dropped it on the stone, and suddenly I realized realized that I was all alone. The kingdom that we'd fancied was a figment of deceit, as royalty lay bleeding on the cobblestone street. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. I see you walking nowadays without your royal stride. The majesty has vanished and you have nowhere to hide. Your shoulders are bent low beneath the weight of your regret, paying off a massive and an unforgiven debt. We thought we were superior to citizens below, but kings can also stumble when the heavy blizzards blow. The scepter that you carried is a broken piece of wood. You didn't rule the empire the way you said you would. The palace walls have crumbled into piles of grey debris. There is no royal navy sailing out upon the sea. We are just ordinary people stripped of all our titles now, forced to face reality and make a final bow. The court jester is laughing at the tragedy we made, as all the vibrant colors of our coronation fade. A monarchy of madness built on shifting desert sand. We lost our total grip upon the promise of the land. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Tear down the banners, extinguish all the flames. We are just commoners who played expensive games. You cannot rule a heart with an iron rusty fist. Our names were never written on the legendary list. Take off the jewelry, throw it in the dirt. No amount of royalty can insulate the hurt. Long live the king, that's what they used to sing, but it doesn't mean that we are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Drop the crown, watch it tumble down, oh, to the ground. The holy carpet dampens every footstep that I take. I listen for a sound to prove that I am still awake. The grandfather clock is ticking, but the pendulum is slow. A steady rhythmic pulse that watches hours come and go. Your winter coat is missing from the hook behind the door, and dust is settling softly on the hardwood parlor floor. I remember how your laughter used to bounce against the wall before the shadow of the winter came to change it all. I sit upon the mattress in the corner of space and try to reconstruct the faint expression on your face. The window pane is frosted with a delicate design, an icy barrier between your world and mine. There are no echoes traveling across the empty hall, just heavy drapes that smother every whisper, large or small. We used to talk until the morning sun began to rise, but now the stillness is a blanket covering our eyes. The furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white, a graveyard of conversations buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to the bone. I found a coffee mug you left upon the kitchen countertop, the dark stains at the bottom where the liquid had to stop. A physical reminder of a morning routine shared before we reached the point where neither person really cared. The refrigerator hums a low and melancholy tune beneath the silver glare of a July afternoon. I touch the handle gently, but I do not open wide. There's nothing left to nourish the starvation deep inside. The neighbors think we moved away because there is no light illuminating windows in the middle of the night. We sit in darkness saving on the electricity bill, as if a cheaper lifestyle could cure a mental ill. The floorboards do not creak because we walk so very light, like thieves inside a museum, escaping from the side. We perfected the behavior of a pair of quiet ghosts, destroying everything that we previously loved the most. The furniture is covered up in sheets of ghostly white, a graveyard of conversations buried in the night. We spent our energy on building walls instead of bridges here, until the noise of loneliness was all that we could hear. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to the bone. Crush us as we fall, but you just stare ahead into the middle of the air with the paralyzed expression of a thorough deep despair. Shh, listen close. It's the sound of nothing left. Now we are living in these silent rooms, trapped inside our minds, searching for a trace of love that neither of us finds. The architecture of our youth is crumbling to stone. We share a roof, but technically we are completely alone. Yeah, the silence is a weapon that is cutting to to the bone. Just a silent room, a quiet tune, hush. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walked down to the postbox at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slot, reviving every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began to rot, and this final correspondence is the only thing we got. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Fold it up, seal the bag, let the postman do the chore. because we are not communicating anymore. Dear love, goodbye. Don't cry. I'll never send to you. These are the last letters. Explanation of the things we couldn't do. Oh, the ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Postage paid, memories fade, signed. Signed. There is no thunder or a lightning display, just a heavy gray canopy obscuring the day. The leaves on the maple trees are turning upside down, a silent alert to the citizens of this town. We sit in the parlor without turning on the lamp, as the air in the residence grows heavy and damp. You are folding your laundry with a meticulous care, ignoring the electrical tension in the air. A loud argument would be a welcome relief to break the momentum of this gathering grief. But we speak in low whispers like we are inside a church, while our emotional stability is left on a perch. The rain starts to fall, but it doesn't make a sound as it absorbs into the dry, unyielding ground. A stealthy disaster that is taking its time to erode the foundations of our youth sublime. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. I watch a single droplet track down the window pane, a miniature river of the silent summer rain. It doesn't rattle the glass or make a dramatic scene, it just creates a barrier that settles between your side of the table and the sector I claim, as we silently assign the institutional blame for the slow expiration of the passion we fed, without a single aggressive syllable being said. The carpet is soaking from the moisture below, where the hidden underground springs begin to overflow. The mold is accumulating behind the drywall sheets, a secret decay that the architecture meets. We pretend everything is structurally sound and secure, while we watch the deterioration that we have to endure. A silent catastrophe under a domestic roof, where the lack of communication is the ultimate proof. The barometric pressure is crushing our chest, and the internal anxiety will not let us rest. We are waiting for the deluge to wash us away from the silent battlefield of this ordinary day. We are weathering a quiet storm inside this apartment tonight, fighting a battle without a visible light. The destruction is subtle, but the impact is deep, infiltrating the dreams that we have when we sleep. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Open the floodgates. slow. So we sit in the dampness as the ceilings cave in, absorbing the consequences of our quiet sin. Drip, drop, it won't stop. Yeah, the flooding is gradual, but the water is high. Silent rain, drowning pain, drowning pain, delusion. The station platform flashes underneath the neon sign. A dozen sleepy passengers are standing in a line. I bought a one-way ticket to a city in the north to flee the situation that was going back and forth. The steam is rising slowly from the belly of the beast. This midnight cold is blowing from the valleys of the east. I look across my shoulder at the city lights behind, with 100 contradictions rolling heavy through my mind. You were sleeping on the mattress when I packed my leather case. I didn't leave a message in that suffocating place. The engine gave a whistle like a signal of distress. A metal rotor pulled me from this complicated mess. The conductor waves a lantern and the iron wheels rotate, a heavy movement forcing us to compromise with fate. The scenery is vanishing into a sea of black, and there is no mechanic who can put us on the track. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, the traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. I watch my own reflection in the dirty window pane, juxtaposed against the drops of heavy summer rain. The passengers around me are all staring at their phone, a congregation of the lost who prefer to be alone. The rhythm of the metal rails is hypnotic to the ear, a steady beat that drummed away my reservation fear. I wonder if you woke up yet and noticed I was gone, or if you'll only realize when you see the morning dawn. The conductor checks my ticket with a sympathetic glance. He knows that people on this coach are running from romance. We are a collection of the broken and the bruised, who chose to be abandoned rather than to be abused. The next stop is a junction where the tracks begin to split, a geographical expression of the way that we just quit. I could switch to another line and head back to your arms, but my intuition warns me of the volatile alarms. The diesel smoke is filling up the chambers of my chest, a traveling companion on this solitary quest. We accelerated quickly, but we headed for a crash. Now our beautiful connection is a pile of burned ash. We are riding on the midnight trains, leaving ghosts behind, trying to escape the thoughts that paralyze the mind. The tracks go on forever through the darkness and the rain, but motion doesn't mitigate the presence of the pain. No fast locomotive cannot outrun the regret. Ooh. brake, but it's too late to stall. The locomotive is moving, and it's gonna take it all. Chug, chug, chug. The engine sighs as the city dies.